welcome back to my channel. Before we even get started, I know my nails are ratchet as fuck. I got my acrylics, well I cut my acrylics off for when I started lifting and now I'm like missing one, and just listen. I can't be beautiful all the time, so today we are going to be talking about some of the embarrassing shit I did when I was overweight. So if you are new here, my name is Jordan and I used to be over 300 pounds. I lost 130 pounds with diet and exercise, and now I'm just on YouTube and Instagram trying to spread my knowledge, trying to help some people out. If you're more interested in how I lost weight, definitely check out my other videos. And my Instagram account, which is @JordanShrinks. That's where I documented the whole thing. I'm kind of new to YouTube still, but hopefully you accept me. I want to be a part of the community. Like I said, today we are going to be talking about the embarrassing things I did when I was over 300 pounds. And this video, honestly, some of the things I was writing, I was like, bitch, you are not telling anyone about that, because some of it is honestly so embarrassing it hurts me. I'm like, you cannot tell anyone. It doesn't matter if you've lost the weight, like that's just embarrassing. But here we are. I'm gonna share them because it's fun, right? It's fun. I think it's important to be able to laugh at yourself. Just a disclaimer before I start, this is not me making fun of myself because I was fat. I feel like I always have to say this. I loved myself when I was fat. I valued myself when I was fat. I even now think I was valuable when I was fat. This is not me making fun of the fact that I was fat. It's me making fun of the fact that I was stupid as fuck when I was fat. Just so you know, if you're watching this and at any point you're like, oh, I do that, it is not normal. You do not have to live your life like this, bitch. There is a brighter side. You do not gotta be a weirdo like I was. You can change. Hopefully, if you do relate to any of these, this is kind of like your, bitch, that's not how life should be. The vast majority of these embarrassing things have to do with food. I still have really embarrassing food habits, but like, So the first embarrassing thing I used to do when I was super overweight, when I would go to restaurants, right? And I don't mean like sit down restaurants, I mean like fast food restaurants. I would always order way too much food for one person, even though I was the only one eating it. And in my mind, I knew I should not be eating that much food, and I was like, bitch, this is why you're so fat. But it didn't matter, man. I was still gonna order that food and I was still gonna eat it all. But since I knew that that was not a normal amount of food for like one person to eat, what I used to do is when I was ordering my food, so let's say I was ordering like 2, 3 bagels, I don't know, like whatever the fuck I was ordering, I would pretend I was on the phone, right? And I would be like, hey, what do you want? And I would pretend I was like talking to a friend, ordering them food as well, so it would make it look like I was not gonna eat all that food, even though I was. So I'd be like, hey, Michelle, you said you wanted a cream cheese bagel, right? And then I would order the bagel in front of this person, and like there's no one on the fucking phone, and I'd be like, she wants a cream cheese bagel. And then I would take my food, run up to wherever the fuck I was gonna eat, and eat it all. And that's how I got over the embarrassment of people being like, that's why she's so fat, because she eats so much. I would pretend I was ordering for other people. That is so embarrassing. We're off to a good start here. Okay, embarrassing thing number 2, and I feel like I've had people tell me this as well, so I know a few of you are gonna relate to this. Am I talking too fast? I feel like I'm not even enunciating my fucking words right now. Number 2, when I was studying in undergrad, so when I was working towards my bachelor's degree, I would pick classes not based on what I was interested in or what I wanted to learn about, but where they were fucking held, because I knew that I could not fit my butt into some of the lecture hall seats. So I knew I could not have class there. I remember so clearly there was this one class I wanted to take, and I forget what it was called, but it was like during my hippie phase, so it was like some development class, I don't know. I like wanted to have it so bad, and I couldn't, because I would do this all the time. I would go check out the lecture hall beforehand, be like, okay, what's the seat situation? And I remember sitting down in the seat and like creaking or some shit, and I was like, oh no. Girl, you cannot take a class in this lecture hall. I took some boring ass class instead. I did that all the time. And this is what I mean when I say you don't gotta live like this, bitch. Like, this is not normal. You should not pick your classes based on whether or not you fit in the seat. You should pick your classes based on what you're interested in, because university classes are like $1,500 each, at least where I'm from. If you're from the States, then you're paying like 10 grand for a class. So, I mean, come on. So, number 3, the third embarrassing thing The third embarrassing thing that I did when I was morbidly fucking obese, this one has to do with food as well. And all through my undergrad, I lived with roommates. So when I was in 3rd and 4th year, I lived with my really, really good friends, Jen, Tina, and Claire. They're probably watching this, they're gonna fucking judge me, but whatever. And I would live with roommates. Once again, I was making way too much food for one person to eat, right? Like, it was just, and like, I could not get over the embarrassment of people knowing I was eating that much, even though it was very clear, based just on how I look, that I was over consuming food. So it's not like people were like, oh, she definitely follows a healthy fucking diet. Like, you could tell based on what I look like that I was not healthy. But when I lived with roommates and we were all cooking together and stuff, and like people were in my area when I was cooking and I could not cook my, you know, ginormous fucking portions in peace, I would literally make my food and then I would take that food and I would put them in a Tupperware container. Like, let's say I was making cheesy pasta, because that's all I fucking made was cheesy pasta. I would put my portions into like 3 Tupperwares or whatever, and I'd be like, this is lunch tomorrow, like pretending I was fucking meal prepping or some shit. And I would be like, yep, put that in the fridge, and then I would eat my small portion in front of my roommates, and I would pretend that was my dinner. But the second the coast was clear, I would go into my fridge and take all the extra food I made and book it downstairs to my room and eat it in my bed. It's not like I ate and then I was like, I'm still hungry. Like, I knew while I was putting the food in the Tupperware that I was gonna eat that fucking food later. And like, I would be annoyed sometimes. I'm like, why aren't you guys in class? Like, did they skip class or something? Because I just wanted to eat my fucking copious amounts of food in peace. I had to pretend like I was normal and eating a normal portion, and I did not like that. So I have this one story that kind of goes along with this, and this story is fucking hilarious. This wasn't when I was with roommates, this was when I was in residence, so my first year of university. When I went to university, my eating kind of got out of control because I was unsupervised, and that's like, I could just buy whatever I wanted and bring it to my room and eat it in peace, right? So basically, I would eat a lot of food, and it wasn't unhealthy food. I would have like Oreos, I don't know, Chips Ahoy. Basically, I'm a sweets person, so anything chocolatey, anything like super sugary, that was the shit I was eating in my residence room. This one day, my really good friend Claire, who I met in first year, we lived in the same residence building, and she was like, she just texted me out of nowhere. She's like, hey, I'm coming to your room. And I was like, bitch, what? I was like sitting in mounds of trash, like mounds of Oreo containers, Chips Ahoy containers, like fucking pizza boxes, everything everywhere. And I was like, oh no, she cannot know that this is how I live my life. So basically my plan was, I'm just gonna collect all this shit. So I start collecting it, collect. I should make story time videos. Collect, right? And it's like all my arms. And what I was gonna do is I was gonna book it down to the common room and like get rid of all my shit in there, because like I couldn't put it in my garbage can because she would still see it, right? So I was like gonna just put it in there and then run and then forget about it and pretend it wasn't mine. No. So what happened was she got up to my floor a lot faster than I expected, because I'm holding all my shit and I'm waiting to book it to the garbage can, and I hear a knock at my door and I'm like, oh no. So what do? And I would never do this now because it's absolutely fucking terrible for the environment. I run to my balcony, I open the door, I walk on my balcony, I take my trash and I throw it over the side. I just throw it over the fucking side, and then you look and you just see it's like raining trash. It's like Oreo containers, Chips Ahoy. I close my door and all I hear from a far distance is some guy yell, what the fuck? And I just opened my door and pretended like none of that ever happened. I was like, hey Claire. She was like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, nothing. Just eating my celery. Oh, the number 4, the fourth embarrassing thing I used to do when I was overweight, morbidly obese, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I feel like I say overweight because it's easier, but I was not overweight, bitch. I was stage 3 morbidly obese. Fourth thing, embarrassing thing that I did was when I would go shopping with friends. Sorry, the sun is moving and shifting. The lighting's probably changing. This is a bootleg production. We don't have O-ring lights here, bitch. You can probably see the sun, the glare in my glasses and shit. This is Jordan Shrinks, not Shane Dawson. So sorry, holy fuck. The fourth embarrassing thing I used to do when I was morbidly obese, when I would go shopping with friends, I would obviously, since I was so big, I could not fit into clothes at regular stores like H&M, no. And like, I was big before like H&M had a plus size line, and like Forever 21 had a plus size line, but like where I went to school, there was no Forever 21. What I would do is I would be like, we'd be walking and I'd be like, oh shit, I need to go check out a plus size store, but I'm like too fucking embarrassed to, you know, go to a plus size store. And just to reiterate, I'm not saying that you should be embarrassed for shopping in a plus size store. I'm just saying I was embarrassed to be shopping in a plus size store because all my friends were like fucking this big. So what I would do is I'd be like, oh, I really need to pee. or oh, I really need to take a ferocious shit. I'm gonna be right back. So then I would go to the washroom, but really what I did, I would book it to a plus size store and I would like look at all the stuff really fast, buy it, and then I would shove it in my purse and then I would go meet up with them again. And I'd be like, back, my shit was great. I was just so uncomfortable by people knowing. Like, I was in denial. I was in denial. Like, that is what this list has shown me, is how in fucking denial I was about my weight. I was like, people can't know I shop at plus size stores, even though it was so clear that I would be shopping at plus size stores. Like, you know what I mean? So number 5, the 5th embarrassing thing I did when I was over 300 pounds, and I've touched on this before, that is, I edited the fuck out of my photos. I didn't usually touch my body, not because I didn't want to, but because I never uploaded body pictures, but my face. I edited the fuck out of my face. I would taper in like my face, you know, I would try to make it look skinnier. Actually, I have examples, I have screenshots, because when I created my new Instagram account, I was like, these pictures are so cute of me, I don't want to lose them. So I fucking screenshotted my own picture. You're gonna see them here, and you're gonna see the old school Instagram logo or whatever. But yeah, you can see that is not the face of someone who's 300 pounds. I don't think that face looks, fucking traffic. I don't think that face looks different than my current face. Girl, that was not your face when you were 300 pounds. So funny, because once again, I thought people were not gonna notice this shit. Remember my one friend, she said to me while I was still big, this is before I started losing weight, she was like looking at pictures, because I had met her after I uploaded these pictures, and she goes, wow, you look so different. I know what she meant to say was, wow, did you gain like 100 pounds in a month, bitch? So the 6th embarrassing thing I did when I was overweight, and this one is kind of sad. I mean, not really, because I don't think I would have gone anyway, but it's kind of sad. When I graduated my undergrad degree, I did not go to my graduation ceremony because I was afraid I would not fit in the gown. In retrospect, or like looking back, like it's not that big of a deal, because I ended up going to my next graduation ceremony, and as I expected, it was boring as fuck. I just did not go because I did not want to deal with the embarrassment of not fitting in the gown and like being in front of all the people on the stage looking like, you know, not cute. Even in grade 12, the gown was already tight, and I know I put on like at least 70 pounds since grade 12. So I was like, girl, you're not going to that. It's not that big of a deal because like none of my friends went anyway, and like we all graduated at different times. But I mean, that's kind of embarrassing. You work for 4 years, you get your ass on the fucking dean's list, and you don't even go to graduation ceremony because you think you're too tubby. Yep. The 7th embarrassing thing I did when I was overweight, and this one is absolutely fucking ridiculous. So basically where I used to live, during my undergrad, it was like a townhouse complex, and then there was a street here, a big street, and then across was the bus stop, right? So when I was overweight, I would not run for the bus. And you're probably like, why not? I don't fucking know. I would not run for it. I would be walking, and I would be literally like 50 feet, not even, away from the bus stop, and if it passed me, I would rather watch it pass me and wait 30 minutes for the next bus than to fucking run and get on that bus. And I did that so many times in the dead ass winter too. Like, I would rather stand outside for 30 minutes in negative 20-degree weather than run for that bus. I think it was a combination of 1, not wanting to run, but 2, people seeing me run because like I was embarrassed of being big and running or whatever. But like, I just would not run for the fucking bus. I would wait instead of run. Okay, so the 8th embarrassing thing I did when I was over 300 pounds, and that was I used to cut the tags out of my clothes so nobody knew what size I was wearing. And like I said, this list has just really solidified the fact that I was in fucking denial about my weight. I would cut the tags out because I was like, I don't want anyone to know I'm wearing a 3X. Because I was embarrassed about it, like I said. And like I said, you should not be embarrassed if you're wearing 3X. But anyway, I was embarrassed about it. And like, I thought that by cutting it out, like, I don't know what I thought. Did I think that by cutting that out, people were gonna think I was a fucking medium? But like, I would cut that shit out, and it was like, I would cut it out and I would throw it away. And like, I would throw it away instantly because I was like, oh my god, what if someone goes through my garbage and sees that I'm a 3X? Like, I was fucking irrational. So yeah, none of my clothes had tags in them, and it's kind of annoying now because like I want to do like those Instagram before and after photos of people's like shirts of their tags or whatever, and I want it to be like 3X and then what I wear now, which is medium, but it's like, oh, you can't because you literally cut out the fucking tag, you asshole. Okay, so the 9th embarrassing thing that I did when I was overweight, this is actually what I didn't do because I was overweight, and this could technically be considered like a good thing, but it's still an embarrassing thing. When I was going through high school, when I was going through university, I never once experimented with hard drugs, which is very common for young people to do. Not because I wasn't curious or not because I didn't want to, but because I was afraid that if I like did a hard drug and my heart rate accelerated, I would fucking drop dead. That's why I didn't do drugs. Like, it wasn't like me being like an angel scholar. It wasn't me being like, oh, I'm not interested in that. And like now I wouldn't do drugs. Like, I'm not into drugs, but like back then when everyone was doing drugs around me, I was like, no, I can't, because I don't want to fucking die. Now I'm kind of past the point that I even want to do it, so I'm like, I don't give a fuck. But like, I've never done a hard drug. Did I miss out? Maybe. I don't know. Some of you are probably watching this being like, Jordan, why are you complaining about this? Like, this is a good thing. But like, it's just embarrassing. It's not embarrassing if you haven't done drugs. It's embarrassing the reason I didn't do drugs. Like, all right, the 10th and final thing. Actually, it's not the final. I'm doing an 11. I'm throwing in an extra because I just thought of it. The 10th thing that I did that was embarrassing when I was 300 pounds. Does that make sense? Who knows? Was if anyone asked me to do anything even remotely physical, I would act as if I was deathly ill. Like I told you earlier, my roommates. So I live with my 3 roommates, and they used to go to the gym together, right? And they'd be like, Jordan, do you want to come? And I would be like, how dare you even ask me this fucking question, first of all? I was like, no, I can't. I'm sick. I would literally act as if like I was on my deathbed. I was like, I have bronchitis. I would just make up an illness. So they're at the gym, and when they're at the gym, I would like order myself a pizza, grab my pizza, run down like the freaking troll gremlin I was, and eat my pizza in bed. If someone asked me to join a sports team, oh, I can't that day because it's on Wednesdays, and on Wednesdays I wax my mustache. Oh, you want to go for a walk? Oh, I can't do that. I don't walk outside because I'm allergic to the sun. I would just like make up excuses, and I would do nothing physical. I did not move at all, and once again, in my mind, I was probably being super sly. People are probably like, oh, Jordan can't do that. She's sick. When really people were probably looking at me being like, you're gonna die soon. Okay, so the bonus one, the 11th embarrassing thing that I did when I was over 300 pounds, and this just came into my head because I was thinking of my brother, and I told my brother this the other day or the other week, and he judged me so fucking hard, and I was like, I gotta share this. So when I would be at home, like my parents' house with my brother, and we would like order pizza or something the night before, sometimes, not all the time, actually not often because I usually ate it all that night, but sometimes we would have leftovers, and we would put the leftovers in the fridge, and I was so addicted, I guess, yeah, addicted to food, that like I would set my alarm in the morning to make sure I would wake up earlier than my brother so I could eat that food before he ate it. I was like, Logan is not allowed to eat this food. This is my pizza, bitch. This is gonna be in my stomach. So there I am at like 9 a.m. setting an alarm to eat pizza at 9 a.m. just so Logan can eat it and I could eat it instead. And if that's not the saddest thing you have ever heard in your fucking life, then I don't know, you must be listening to some sad ass shit, because that is not normal. But yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. I know it's like not educational or anything like that in terms of like weight loss, but I thought it was just funny to kind of share my experiences. Like I said, this is not me making fun of my former self. Well, okay, I am making fun of my former self because like I said, I was a dumbass. As I've said many times, I've always attached value to myself regardless of my size. So I still love myself then, I love myself now. I don't give a fuck, girl. If you're 800 pounds, you are still a superstar. However, you're not healthy, so you should probably, you know, just work on it a bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video. I do have more videos coming up, and I am trying to upload once a week this year. So if you are interested, you know, in hearing what I have to say, then definitely stick around. Like I said, if you're interested to know more about my weight loss journey, definitely check out my Instagram and my other videos, because that's where I talk about diet, exercise, all that stuff. Okay, bye!